Hello, I'm Lizard Boy. Voice reveal. Give me a Minions hooray. Hooray. Shut up, Sink! Anyways, I've been watching people do tier lists on movies, and I decided, just for fun, I do Pixar. Now, the reason I'm doing Pixar is because I've actually today... Shut up, Sink! Anyways, today I only have just finished watching 3 Pixar films, and finally I've done them all. So, I'm ranking them, since I've seen loads of people do it. 2 years ago, though. That's my research. Oh, god damn it! Anyways, first one is Toy Story. Now, Toy Story is the first ever Pixar film. Came out in 19... I don't know, I'm going to pop up the dates or whatever. But anyways, it's about a toy called Willie. Damn it. The film's good as hell. Basically, the plot is about a cowboy named Woody having a new toy called Buzz Lightyear, which thinks he's an actual toy. He thinks he's a space ranger. Which, in fact, he's a bloody toy, so he needs to get some brain cells. Some shit. Crap, I should say. Anyways, so basically, Woody attempts to get rid of him, which results in him being thrown out too. That's what's happened. They find themselves at the pizza place, and then they get picked up by Sid, the main villain of the film, which I have to say, is quite a good villain. It's just a kid that likes to destroy toys. Kind of like me. I'm broke as shit. Anyways, basically, Woody tries to get the other toys to work. They don't listen because he thinks he's a murderer. Then he has a cool ass scene with him in a car. It's hard to explain because, like, I don't have the thing in front, and plus, I'm not using editing. My point is that basically he gets used to Buzz, and yeah, Andy moves. Yay. Everyone's gonna hate this. Anyways, for the first ever Toy Story, the first ever film, I have to say, it's a good film, so S tier. Now, this is actually the second film of Pixar, is A Bug's Life, which I actually finished watching, and I'll say it's in the middle. It's about an ant called Flint that's an inventor in an ant colony. After being threatened by grasshoppers, and the main grasshopper, and there was this, like, fat one that kept on annoying me. Anyways, he threats the ant colony, which results in Flint going out to find some fierce hunters, which he finds amazing circus people. That's the bloody plot. So basically, he gets them, then the ants find out they're not warriors or some crap, I can't really remember, even though I just finished watching it. I don't really give a crap about the film, so I'm going to say D. Well, actually, nah, I'm in the middle with it. Toy Story 2 is really good. It's actually... It's about Woody getting sold to a guy called Al, which works at a toy place, and he's a bloody chicken. Kind of get those chicken legs. Like if you like chicken legs. Anyways, so after Al stole him in the yard sale, Woody gets sent all the way to his apartment, where he meets the weird mine guy, I forgot his name, Jess, a cowboy woman, and a horse. Yes. Anyways, so Buzz and the other toys make a mission to find it. It's like Mission Impossible a bit. Should watch it. Anyways, so they make a mission to find Woody. So they went into the toy area, found out they're not there, so they went to his place. The problem is, Buzz was left behind, and there was a clone of him that thought he was one of the people sleeping. Like, there's an aisle of bloody Buzz. Yeah. Anyways, so the copy Buzz goes with the other toys, and they... Sorry if you hear the washing machine. I'm gonna kick it in a minute. Anyways, So then they rescue Woody. Then there was a second of both buzzers fighting. Woody obviously found out who it was. Anyways, then the plot twist, turns out the minor guy was the twist villain. Yeah. And then there was a scene in the elevator where Zurg, the main second villain, which turns out he became good. Anyways, had to do a lovely Star Wars scene. No, Buzz. I am your father. Nuh-uh. Anyways, then they travel over to the airport where Woody managed to save Jess in an airplane. And the minor guy has to deal with a Barbie girl. Or some crap. I can't remember. Anyways, I think it's a good film. Good sequel. So S tier. And speaking of good, Monsters Inc. instantly S tier. Even though I'm not even saying the ranking yet. It's just a really good film, and I remember watching it lots. When it first came out, I thought it was the sequel to Monsters University, which we'll actually get back to that later after 2 trash films. Anyways, so the plot of Monster Inc. is when Sully accidentally brought out a child, which results in Mike and joining in to help get her back in. But the problem is there's a bunch of Among Uses. Whatever the hell the yellow things are called again. Basically, they're on the hunt for the child too. Oh yeah, there's a weird crab freak that turns out he's a twist villain. Same with Randall, the weird lizard guy that, yeah. I'm kind of forgetting the plot. But anyways, they have a scene with them flying indoors. God dang, they get the child back. The spider guy gets arrested. Happy ending. Okay, I'm going to be trash at explaining the plots. However, I don't care. So yeah. Speaking of plots, Finding Nemo. It's basically a fish gets taken away, goes in an aquarium. There's this other fish, the dad freak, finds this woman named Dory, and they go on an adventure to rescue him. I don't know how they rescued him, because like if this was real life, they would probably not see each other again. Then they use a pelican to attack the doctor or some crap, and then happy ending. Yeah, I'm just gonna put this in B because it is an okay film. But do you know what isn't an okay film? The Incredibles. Incredibles is... Oh wait, maybe I should explain the plot first. Also, it's not standing in S tier. Anyways, The Incredibles is a banger film. The music is amazing. The plot is amazing. The sequel's trash. Anyways, so it's about Bob freaking up his life, I think. I can't remember. Yeah. Anyways, basically, Mr. Incredible got sent to this sketchy villain shish. Anyways, basically, he gets tricked by a woman that was teaming up with a villain, and the villain, Syndrome. He's the love of people's life. But do you know who's the love of my life? Vector. Oh yeah. Anyways, then he makes this large robot, and there was a scene with Mr. Incredible finding the plans, and what's that? Is an okay scene. Anyways, so then Mrs. Incredible, which I'm forgetting the names of everything because my brain's dumb. Anyways, then Mrs. Elastigirl. There, Elastigirl. I'm thinking of the Fortnite because Fortnite had a copyright with it. Anyways, so Elastigirl, along with Violet and Dash, work together to find Bob, but plot twist, Syndrome takes them in, even though Violet got them out easily. Anyways, back to the city. Violet screams. There's a funny video online of Mr. Incredible versus a thing called Just a Little Workout. I have it on my TikTok. You can just search it up. Just search up Just a Little Workout. Anyways, they defeat the robot and Syndrome gets sucked into a plane because of his cape. Yeah. So that is Incredibles, which is really good, so it shall be S tier. And I'm sorry, Monsters Inc., but it's way better. Cars is kind of bad. Basically, it's about Lightning McQueen. I might say Lightning McQueen. Anyways, gets, after his racing, falls into a town, which in the town, like, they've basically treated him like a prisoner from World War II. I'm not gonna say Thingy's name. Anyways, basically, there's this car that had a large crash, forgot the name. He trains Lightning McQueen, and on the race there's a green car that has a massage from the famous guy from World War II. He hits the blue car, goes flying, and Lightning McQueen saves him. That's the ending. I'm explaining these plots really bad, and I probably hate it. And since I don't really like cars, it's going to go under Bug's Life. Yeah. Oh. The next film, Ratatouille. I don't care. Ratatouille's first. I bloody like Ratatouille. Too good. Okay. Ratatouille is just a lovely film. It's just a rat that wants to be a chef, and it's just so freaking good. Like, I think it's nice that a rat that, everyone hates is, bleh, just wants to be a chef. So basically, the plot is with the rat named Remini wants to be a chef, and then accidentally destroyed the colony, showing the grandmother, which the grandmother tried to kill them with a shotgun, some kind of doomslayer crap. Anyways, Remini washes up to Paris, with the croissants. Anyways, blah blah blah. Can the washing machine? Oh, I'm sorry if you can hear the washing machine. I am not properly set up for this. Anyways, Remini teams up with Linguini, a person with mental problems. Bad memory. Or should I say clumsiness or bad luck or I don't know. Anyways, he teams up, makes a lovely hit to the customers. The problem is, a famous critic, which actually minus a star off of Gustav's restaurant, which that's the guy Remy was expired by, which obviously makes everyone nervous. And also, in the middle of all of this, there's this little chef, the head one, that continuously tries to find Remedy. Remedy gets kicked out from Linguini, which obviously was a terrible idea! Anyways, Remedy shows his whole collies it, which obviously they all leave, except for the woman that came back like 5 minutes later. Oh yeah, there was like a half-assed love story with them. Yeah, Remedy just gave Linguini a lovely girl. Anyways, the famous food critic loves it. Remedy does open a restaurant in the end. Yeah, the end. It is a lovely film. Go watch it. Definitely better than whatever the hell DreamWorks made with this snail called Turbo. Anyways, next one is WALL-E, which is actually going to be the second top place because it's a bloody amazing film. I don't know. WALL-E with the other robot called Eve. It's just lovely. Just a lovely, lovely story. But the problem is they can only speak 2 words. I'm going to go throw myself off the building. Anyways, the plot. After the humans frick up the earth, making it all trash, I think Ratatouille's down there, WALL-E's left behind to clean it up. One day, Eve gets sent down to Earth to check out the remains, finds the plot, goes FK, then gets picked up by the ship, with WALL-E following because WALL-E's clearly a simp. Not a slimp. Anyways, WALL-E goes to the ship to show everyone's fat, and there's a weird guy that recreated it, and for some reason there was a xenomorph. I'm not trying to sponsor them, by the way, or say something about them. Anyways, then the cat is fascinated, but there's this wheel forgot the name, that has a deep voice. Kind of reminds me of Darth Vader for some reason. And doesn't allow the character to go back to Earth. A couple of minutes later, Eve and Wally are sent over to the repair, which he breaks the machine, so now they're on the warning. And then later, they finally put the plant thing in the machine. The wheel person, I think. Oh wait, I remember the name, Otto. Yeah, he got turned off. Captain puts them back to Earth. They somehow finally walk after being on it. Anyways, they plant the seed. Good ending. Yeah, good film. Next one is Up. Now, Up. The beginning is absolutely depressing, but bloody hell, when Charles Muntz gets the shotgun. Anyways, it's about this guy called not Charles Muntz, Carl, that lost his wife Elliot after attacking a construction worker. He's forced to live in a retirement home, so he starts life. Somehow goes to the dollar shop, which he actually didn't. I'm just adding this for a story. Goes to the dollar shop, buys 10,000 balloons or something, starts floating away. Okay, there's this kid called Russ that, I'm not trying to be racist here, but he looks Chinese. Anyways, they go to South America, where they find a bluebird named Kevin. Kind of reminded me of a certain dragon. Anyways, they find a dog called Dunt, I think it is. Okay, there's this villain dog. He has a ridiculous voice, and at the end when I'm struggling with the names here. Anyways, they find Charles Muntz. Charles Muntz wants Kevin, and he does violence. So, Charles Muntz decides to attempt to kill them and burn the house down. I guess you can start playing I Hope You Die in a Fire. I hope you die in... Anyways, I'm getting confused. Old Man Ricky, the guy in the poster thingy here, infiltrates the airport. I'm getting confused with the names. Point is, the ending is Charles Muntz falling off a balloon after they infiltrate his blimp. The hot house gets set on a mountain, and the old man Ricky gets beat with the dog. Yeah. Anyways, good film. However, the beginning's kind of depressing, so I'm going to put an A. If anyone shouts at me saying I'm a criminal, I'm sorry, but I don't care. It's my opinion, this is. So if anyone tries to and fix this tier list or whatever, I'm going to flip them off. Anyways, Toy Story 3. It should have been the ending. However, they made the Okay, basically, in Toy Story 3, Andy's heading to college, which he has his mum accidentally throw his toys away, which the dumpster person actually is Sid. That's what people are saying online. Don't believe TikTok, you guys. Anyways, God, I'm losing my breath here. Everyone's just going to get to this point and just hear me losing my breath because I'm losing my mind. Also, when I'm recording this, I'm standing up. I'm in my kitchen. So that's where you're probably going to hear birds and weird noises in the back. Anyways, blah, blah, blah. So then the toys ditch Andy, which they head to a daycare, which completely was not a good idea because it was just basically, again, World War II with a Jew farm. No, not a Jew farm. Well, kinda. Anyways, it's basically a prison run by Purple Freddy Fazbear. I meant Pink Bear. It's kind of reminded me of Purple though. Anyways, so yeah, he's running the place, and then he somehow hypnotizes Buzz, which later the toys manage to fix-ish. They turn him Spanish, and it is actually quite funny, I have to say. But anyways, they nearly escape before Lotso corners them. They all get chucked in the garbage with Lotso following. They go to the bin, Lotso betrays them, and then they're saved by aliens. Aliens! Anyways, that's how they say by the Claw. Oh yeah, they returned back home with Andy. Andy donates them like a Mr. Beast video or something. I don't know. I've seen a guy that did that. Anyways, he donates his toys to Bonnie on the condition she takes care of them, which should have been the ending, but they made a fourth. Yeah, I'll say it's okay. Lotso also is now spending his whole life in a garbage. I meant in the front of a garbage van. Anyways, good film. A tier. I said A tier. And now here we come to two of the bad films. Okay, people say Cars 2 is really bad, which I can get the hate because they don't really understand the plot. However, I do. Round of applause! So Lightning McQueen is challenged by this Italian race car. That's my Italian accent. Hang on, let me do the Italian accent. Pizza, pizza. Anyways, so he travels to Tokyo, which is Japan. Which I actually kind of want to go to Japan now. Problem is, I live in England, so it's going to be like, I'd say 24 hours, or definitely a day or two. Anyways, he heads there with Mater, which Mater accidentally goes in a bathroom. And in the bathroom, there's this blue car that was being attacked by these two villains, which I see too much in the bill. Anyways, he attacks a tracker onto Mater, so then it confuses the main spy guy with the purple woman, which both of them, I think, are dating. Anyways, so then, Lightning McQueen is pissed at Mater for ruining the race because he kept on saying random stuff in the communication, which he was trying to talk to the spy woman. Yeah. Anyways, then they go to a bloody another place. Mater gets kidnapped with the other two spies. They're in England. They were about to die to Big Ben. Mater got free. Found out there's a bomb on him. And then it's to reveal that the twist villain is the green car at the ending. Yeah. I'd say it's not if you understand the plot more better than me explaining it, you'd probably like it, but people say like it's either a D, E, or get the goddamn bin. However, I'm going to put it into C. And I would prefer to watch it than a Bugs Life. However, John will be entering E, Brave. The whole plot of Brave is the princess woman hates her mom. So then she goes to a witch to turn her into a bear. There's also this king bear. That's the main villain, which absolutely sucks. You should look at the bear from over the hedge. I'm not bothered to explain the plot, so I'm just going to put it in E already. Do not watch Brave. It's a shit film. YouTube, please don't ban me for swearing. Anyways, remember earlier I said about Monsters, Inc.? We're on to Monster University. Whoa! Anyways, Monsters University is actually what I thought the first film was of Monsters, Inc. Well, it's kinda. Basically, it's talking about Sully and Mike meeting, where they started as enemies, and I guess wanted to smack each other or something, not in a weird way. Also, Mike was friends with Randall until the end. Anyways, they then break a screen character, which the apparently villain, the weird dragon centipede freak woman, yeah, that's her name, 100%, fails them. So then Mike makes a bet to the centipede, I'm always saying the name again, that he can win the scare games, which he nearly failed at the bloody beginning. Christ on a life. Anyways, they're also challenging these red ones with Randall on it, which turned him into the enemy. I don't know. And Solomon cheated on the final one, so Mike decides to scare a little child, which absolutely failed. Yeah, they're in camp and then they work together to scare some police officers to get out. So then they're both banned and go job at Monsters Inc. And that damn sick. Yeah, it's an okay film. B. I'll say it's A. But it's not really super good. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Inside Out, the next film, which I might either put an A or B, because I don't know, Sanders was kind of an idiot, but anyways, basically the plot is about this kid named Riley moving to a new house that is cramped. Kind of like my old house. You see, in my old house, my stairs were so stiff, like I would occasionally fall down them and yeah. But I didn't break a bone until I was at school. Anyways, we're not talking about my stories, we're talking about movie stories. Anyways, the plot is about Joy and Sanders getting kicked out, finding the old imaginary Bing Bong. They return to headquarters after Bing Bong dies. The weird elephant they get back, put the crystals back. Why they were outside HQ. Discuss fear and anger, which I have to say, anger is probably the most dumbest idiot I've ever met. Anyways, puts an idea in Riley to run away, and well, they stop her. Then there's an emotional ending at the end, which, yeah, I'd say it's an okay film, but if I'm honest, I'd say the sequel's a bit better. However, we're not on the sequel, so we'll be back to that later. Anyways, Inside Out, I would say it is an A. Probably better than Monsters, Inc. Anyways, and finally, okay, back when I was like 5 years old, I loved The Good Dinosaur, but now we're watching it. It is a trash film and really emotional. It's one of Pixar's worst films. So I'm going to keep this review short because probably nobody wants to hear me yapping about a film. But I'm already going to put them in the goddamn bin. Actually not, Brave. Now, I don't care. Brave can go in the bin. I actually don't know which goes in the bin. Brave for The Good Dinosaur. But I kind of, now I'm putting it in E because probably the only good scene from it was obviously the background, but also the Pteranodon's death. Christ on a stick, that was dark. They bloody ripped his arm, his wings off to let him drown in the water. Kind of like his dad. His dad was drowned too. Yeah. And yes, I just opened my fridge for no absolute reason. Anyways, I actually have no idea what's worse, so I'm gonna put Brave in the bin because I'd say The Good Dinosaur is a bit better. But now we're on to Finding Dory. Got the words mixed up. Finding Dory is way better than Finding Nemo, so it shall go in A. Finding Dory is basically Dory being taken into a marine life center where she finds this shark whale with help with an octopus that wants to go to Ohio or Russia or some crap. And basically they try to help her. Also, Nemo and his dad are actually traversing the land, which is way better because it's no longer in the sea. Also, there's a scene with an octopus, which is not really the good. Anyways, then Dory finds her parents, which were in an event or something. Then they have to rescue Hank in a truck. So Dory decides to commit Grand Theft Auto, gets 5 stars because the police goddamn made a spike trap, dried over a cliff, let the other fish go free. Oh yeah, don't talk about the sick fish. Oh god, he disgusts me. Anyways, wholesome ending. I'll say it's okay. Speaking of not okay, Cars 3. I'm gonna keep this more short than The Good Dinosaur. I watched it today and I was absolutely bored with it. I was watching it on my iPad. I meant phone. Blah, blah. And I was like, this is actually shish. Because it's just basically Lightning McQueen being trained even though he knows his moves. let's just get the plot out this way. So, Lightning McQueen loses to a new car called Storm, which I have to say is actually quite a cool guy, but we'll get back to the ending. then he goes over to this yellow woman that apparently trains him, but really the yellow car is trained by him. Also, there's a scene where they're in a derby and this boss woman is angry at him. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. So then they go back to the place. The yellow car had an emotional on the way, talking about she wanted to be a race car. She races Storm. Storm, of course, loses because obviously the main characters are winning. Like, think about it. In every film, the main character will always live. Damn it! Alright, so it's kind of bad, so I'm going to put in D. Actually, yeah, I'm going to keep it in D. Not good. I think everyone's going to hate me when they see Cars 2 is actually in C. It's my opinions, but this opinion will be the best. Coco. Now let me just begin. When I first saw this, I was like, nah, I'm not going to watch this. But when I was having my Wales trip, yes, I went to Wales with a school trip or something. I'm not explaining it. I actually watched Coco, which, I got to say, this is bloody... Not the sus clapping your Uncle Gary does, but really good. I don't care. This is probably the third favourite. It is really, really good. And I'm fixing everything. Coco is about this kid that... Miguel, that is into music. However, the family hates the music. He accidentally breaks a photo to show that his great-granddad is secretly the famous Mexican singer. I forgot his name, so we're going to nickname him Mexican Taco Man. Anyways, so then he tells his parents, but don't go well, breaks his guitar, he runs off to steal Renesca. Oh, the no longer Mexican taco guy, it's... I really just forgot it. Renesto, yeah, that's the guy. Renesto's guitar, which sends him to the land of dead, where he found loads of his family members. There was this woman that turns out it was his great grandmother, which was the woman that apparently had her husband left. Anyways, after a bunch of that, she sends him back to the land of the dead. He wants to bloody have a blessing so then he can go home. But anyways, he runs off with this guy called Hector, which they try to find Ernesto, which turns out Hector was lying because he just wanted to get out of cop crap or something. Anyways, they go on a mission. The family members are chasing behind with a cat woman. They perform a song which becomes a really good hit, and then Hector and thingy boy, I'm already forgetting his name, have an argument. Hang on, I'm trying to remember. Basically, boy gets in and finds Renesco. Turns out Hector is his great-grandfather, and that was a big plot twist. And one of the biggest plot twists, actually, is when Ernesto reveals he actually poisoned Hector. So bloody dark! Anyways, they infiltrate Ernesto's concert. They record the bad guy. He gets hit by a bell. Ring that bell from notifications or some crap. And yeah, he dies. The reason I said die because when you die. Anyways, he returns with the blessing. And goddamn the ending! Just watch the film, it's really good. Anyways, next film is Incredibles 2. The villain is absolute dog shit. The villain in this film, bloody forgot her name, signs up with her brother, voiced by the meme that goes, you know, I'm not going to recreate it. I forgot. Solid Goodman, yeah, Solid Goodman, I think. That's the name, I forgot. Anyways, or Bob Croman, I forgot his name. Anyway, signs up, and Mr. Incredible, Elastigirl, and Frozone sign up to the company, which turns out is a huge scam. And it turns out the twist villain is the woman. She makes the scream to hypnotize heroes because heroes didn't save her mom and dad or some crap. Anyways, they defeat her. The ship wins. There's a weird owl, and I don't know. When I was like 9 years old, I thought Incredibles 2 was better than Incredibles 1. But now thinking about it, nah, I'm probably gonna put this in B, since the villain's kind of crap. However, I still enjoy it. Toy Story 4. Here we go with shit. I remember actually watching it and thinking, this is actual dog shit. It is trash. It is the worst sequel. Oh yeah, you know the woman, the Bo Peep woman, yeah, that was missing on the 4th movie. She's back. Round of applause. Yeah, it's just me because I don't even give a fuck. Anyway, she's teaming with this little girl, and Woody gets betrayed by Bonnie, and Bonnie makes this weird spark thing that tries to commit suicide, like my friend does. Anyways, yeah. Then they go back to the van. She goes to a carnival. Woody finds out Bo Peep's there. There's an antique with with this doll, which I forgot the name of, and her henchman, the puppet guys from Goosebumps, which, watch that film, it's way better than this shit. Anyways, so yeah, Woody gives her the voice box for Sparky. I'm gonna say Sparky. What? Anyways, they give the voice box. She gets portrayed by the main woman. I'm not bothered to explain the race part. Just watch it if you're bored or want to see something before you die. Anyways, E. Or should I put it? Nah, I'm putting it E. Which I actually, yeah. Onward is actually the first film I watched today. Now, my friend said it was bad, which now watching it, I'm kinda with him-ish. I'd say it would be an B, because, like, I just kind of like the adventure of no magic and all that. Anyways, the plot is, everyone's trying to not doing magic anymore because everyone got bored of it because it was hard as hell to do. And then there's this main character that it was his 16th birthday, named, I think it's Barley's the weird teenager guy that's obsessed with magic, and Ian, I think. It's Ian. I can't remember. Ian, the 16-year-old kid, he gets a staff from his dead dad, which he can bring back his dad to life. And I really wish at that moment, when he was summoning the beam, Hagrid appeared saying, "You're a wizard, Harry." Anyways, they brought his dad back, but plot twist, half of his dad. So then they go to this weird restaurant place, find this legendary lion woman. I can't really remember. She gets angry, burns the place, and the mum finds out about them missing. She takes her with her. There's also a boyfriend, horse guy. Still can't remember. But anyways, they find the last piece. However, Ian's school turns into a dragon. That's something, ain't it? I'm gonna kill myself after this. Anyways, Barley's school. No, I'm gonna get the names wrong. The dragon gets defeated, and Barley sees the dad. And I guess that's the end. I'll say it's an okay film, but not super looper. So yeah, B. Soul. It's a good film. It's about this man called Joe that shut up dishwasher. Don't start making stuff. Anyways, also don't ask why I'm recording on a dishwasher. Anyways, it's about this person called Joe that. Okay, I'm just gonna open it half good. Anyways, it's about this person called Joe that that got accepted to a music teacher because he absolutely loves music. You know what, I can't stand it up anymore, so God damn it! Oh shit, because I can't be bothered to stand anymore. Christ in a life. Anyways, it's about this person called Joe that died after a manhole and is in this world which he can go to the afterlife. However, he tried to escape, which results him into this weird soul area where these little mini things are trying to get destined. So he's partnered with 22 to try and convince her to join the world, which turns out 22 realizes that Joe's not meant to be here. So then she has a wizard guy team up, which results in her being dropped in with Joe, and then 22's in Joe's body and Joe's in a cat body because he's in the hospital. So yeah, 22 experience life, and yeah, then 22 gives the badge to Joe, but Joe feels bad, so he goes back to the afterlife to help 22, give 22 the badge. And then the weird woman spirit thing, it sends Joe back to the afterlife, which, hard to complicate, but I'd say it's an okay film. It's really hard to complicate. But this next film is going to be easy to complicate. And I'm actually going to have this in second place. And that, my boys, is Luca. Okay, when I first watched this film, I was like, cinema. Luca is an amazing film, and I don't care what everyone says. It's going in second place. However, Ratatouille still is first. It's just so not... Shut up, dishwasher. It's just about a kid that wants to experience life in the real world. However, the parents don't allow it because... I wonder why. Sea monster shit. So then, Luca teams up with this kid called Alberto to show him this life of being a human, which they head to the town because Luca's mum was going to send him over to his uncle's, which I actually remember watching a funny version where Luca returns home and this happens. Luca, where have you been? Drop. Anyways, they go to this town when they meet this main villain. I forgot who he's called again. Anyways, they team up with this girl, Luke. Oh, I can't remember the shit. Anyways, they team up with the girl. The dad is a hunter, but some stuff. I'm trash at explaining plots. Please somebody comment saying I'm trash at explaining plots. Anyways, the mum and dad, Luca's mum and dad, head to the town, and then they have a bike race, which Alberto decides to reveal he's a sea monster, and when Luca goes to consider with him, turns out his dad left him, seeming a bit milky, am I right? Get it? Because people used to joke about dads leaving with the anyways. Luca competes on the race alone now, with not the help of Juliet. And finally, I remember the girl's name is Juliet. And in the bike race, it starts raining. So what will he do? And all of a sudden, a man comes out with an umbrella. It's... hang on, I'm trying to remember. It's... who's the other boy getting Frank? Baguette. No, Basically, it's the boy with the fatherless person thing. Yeah, he helps him with the main villain that's apparently 16. However, he looks bloody 18. Throwing him a harpoon, or it's hard to explain. But basically, at the end, racistness was gone because humans allowed sea monsters into life. Hooray! Yeah, it is a good film. Please watch it. Oh yeah, Maget, the boy with the fatherless thingy, uses the money to buy a ticket to school so then Luca can go to school with Julia. Good ending. And there's actually a little short about, I think it's Maget, or is it the guy from Coco? Can't remember. No, it's Alberto. Yeah, Alberto. Ugh. Thank you. There's a short with him in Pixar, but you can check it out. I'm not showing it here. Anyways, to the next film, which actually might go in 4th place. And it's none other than Turning Red. Yeah. People nowadays on TikTok are posting just like doing like cartoons now or Pixar now with Turning Red, but technically Turning Red is a little bit dark when you get to understanding the plot. But basically, there's this girl called I'm gonna lose it. May. Yeah, May. The girl is named May, which she embraced the red panda after something. I kind of forgot how she endured it. Oh yeah, she got embarrassed in front of a goddamn guy. Yeah. Anyways, she turns into a red panda and the mom's all crazy about it. She goes to school. She reveals the panda to her friends. Then they start selling merch to get into a concert, which kinda sucks. Anyways, yeah. Then later in the ceremony, she pisses off her mom. The mom turns into Godzilla, Godzilla Red Panda, if that's even a name, and ruins the concert. And somehow May knocks her out. It's hard to explain, but basically, they all turn. She turns back to normal. May stays as a red panda, and yeah, good ending. Yeah, I'm trash at explaining shit. But what I am gonna explain why Lightyear is shit. Yep, Lightyear's next, and it's already gonna go in D. In fact, I think it's actually better than Cars 2. Yeah. But anyways, Lightyear sucks because like everything about it just not good. Because in the ending scene, it turns out Zurg, yes, Zurg is in it. Turns out it's Buzz from the future, which just bloody shoots a hole in the goddamn Toy Story 2 community because we found out Zurg is Buzz's father. Star Wars shit. Anyways, the plot is Buzz Lightyear gets stuck in a planet that kind of looks like never mind. Anyways, gets stuck on a planet with his curlies. He time travels in the future, messes it up, has a future self. He teams up with these humans, and oh my god, there's a grandmother with a gun. Yeah, I'm not showing videos because I don't know how to animate. Okay. Anyways, blah blah blah. Plot. Zurg is destroyed, or is he? Watch the movie and figure out. I can't. And the next film is Elementals, which I would probably put in S tier, but since like it's technically a rip-off of Lava and Water Boy, Shark Boy, I meant. Basically, it's about racistness-ish. Fighter Girl team wants to help her dad's shop run, but Water Boy wants to get rid of the shop because he works with the community and he cries quite a lot. It's hard to explain the plot, but basically a large flood happens, kaboom, the city blows up, and then fire and other elementals form. I'm not saying that's it because there's better plots with this, but yeah, it is a good film and probably, if I'm honest, should be in first in A. yeah. I don't want to piss off people that like up, so I'm just going to put him... I'm still keeping it up here. Just at the end of... It is just the beginning of the emotions. And finally, remember Inside Out? Yeah, the sequel. Now, back in 2024, I actually waited until it was on Disney, and then I watched it. And I kind of died in some of the cringe moments. Especially when they were walking. But basically, Riley is now moving to a new school, away from her friends. Also, she's now a teenager, which I'll be soon, which I don't like. I don't like teenagers, really. Which I'm going to become one in, like, 2 months. Love my life. Anyways, basically, the emotions get a new one. Anxiety, purple, blue, purple and light blue, forgot those 2 names. And embarrassed, which I think Sadness had a crush on embarrassment, I think. They get thrown out, and basically, they get thrown out, they return back, they stop anxiety because Sadness was secretly there, and yeah, I'm trash at explaining plot, so I'm just gonna say, you know what, since it was the number one movie in 2024, I'm gonna put it in S tier, and yeah. That's it. In conclusion, Pixar is a good film studios, but if you look at D, E, and get in the goddamn bin, I think I have bad taste in some shit. I mean, they are bad films, I have to say. Actually, no, Toy Story 4 couldn't actually go in D in front. It's way better than Cars. Don't watch any of the Cars films. Don't watch Toy Story 4. Don't watch The Good Dinosaur. Don't watch Brave, and don't watch Bugs Life, and like, yeah, unless you want to. I'm not your dad. Anyways, in the top 5 places, we got Ratatouille, one of the best films ever. Absolutely, chef kiss. Luca, amazing films, and the goddamn sea monsters look like axolotls, which I love. Wall-E, a lovely, wholesome, goddamn love story. Turning Red, a really funny story, especially with Awooga. And Coco, a masterpiece. However, did you really think I would stop there? No. I'm going to put numbers over these. Anyways, Toy Story 2, a really amazing sequel. Incredibles, a masterpiece. Inside Out 2. It has some cringe moments, but I'd say it's quite okay. Toy Story 1, the first ever Pixar film and the best one ever. Monsters Inc., really good. Elemental, I'd say, even though it's a copy of Lava and Shark Boy, it's still quite a good film. Toy Story 3, should have been the ending and is quite good, and it's basically World War II. Soul, really complicated plot, but it is quite good. Inside Out 2, I'll say it's okay. Monsters University, quite a good. I'd say it's way better than the 2 garbage films we had before the year. Finding Dory, quite good and way better than Finding Nemo. Up, really peak and love it. Even though it's not an S tier, which I think I'm a hate crime. It's Incredibles 2. Did we really need a sequel? I don't know, but there's apparently a 3rd one coming out, which... Onward. I'll say it's got its flaws, but quite good, and I'll say they should have maybe had more... Should have showed the dad a bit more. Finding Nemo. Kinda bad, but also won the Oscar at one point. Cars 2. I'm gonna get hate, but probably the best Cars 2 season. I don't know how to explain it. Lightyear, just I don't know. A Bug's Life, boring. Toy Story 4, get in the bin. Even though like we already have Brave in the bin. Cars, why? Cars 3, boring as hell. The Good Dinosaur, really bad. However, as a child, I loved it, which probably everyone's going to get concerned. And Brave. I wish I could, you know what? Oh, wait, no. I think my bin's been taken out, so there's nothing in my bin. So yeah, just get in the bin. Actually, no, I'll scream. Get in the goddamn bin! Christ! I have a loud voice. But yeah, Pixar is a good studio. It's really good films, but like, I have to say, like, some of the middle bits are kind of bad, if I'm honest. And some of these sequels and third films and fourths kind of suck, but they're still good with first films, if I'm honest. One is Brave and The Good Dinosaur. But yeah, quite good. And the next films I shall be doing is Illuminations. Because DreamWorks has a bunch of films, and I'm going to have to review the goddamn boss, baby!